हेलो, गुड इवनिंग, नमस्कार। कैसे हैं आप लोग? नवरात्रि के इस पर्व पे आप सबको एडवांस में बधाइयाँ। हैव यू एवर heard about GTM while you are working in your office or discussing something on LinkedIn or among your peers or an interview? Yes, this term has been coined and spoken and discussed a lot since some time. Now, that's not something new, but yes, as the market evolves, as the business strategy and the specialists evolve and they start discovering some new things, so there are new terms being coined. So GTM is nothing very new, but a very, very important aspect which in recent times leaders, managers have started focusing upon. Now, what is GTM? So GTM is go-to-market strategy. Now, what is go-to-market strategy? Yes, it does not mean that you visit the market or you travel to the market. It's exactly not that meaning. But yes, GTM is a very, very fundamental but a very core requirement for any establishment, which could be a startup, could be a new launch, could be a middle-sized enterprise, or could be a new product development or new product launch from a large enterprise. GTM is nothing but a proper way of doing things before you get into the actual execution. So what are the parts of GTM, what are the process of the GTM, and what are the benefits? Today I'm going to talk about this. I'm Amol Nigam. I've been into sales and other marketing activities for last 20 years, and today I would like to tell you about GTM, so that if you are any one of these, like an entrepreneur, a salesperson, a sales leader, to a small medium enterprise, or even a person who is going to launch a new product or a service, in fact, for a certain market, then a GTM is very, very much required. When we say GTM, that means that we have to cover 6 points definitely. Now the 6 points are, first of all, we must know which demography or geography, which set of customers are we going to cater through our product or service. We need to identify the sample set and also the target audience. Once we get done, we need to definitely understand what are the needs or pain points we are going to address through our product or service which we are going to launch. The second thing is that we must work in a study to understand what would be the distribution process. Being it a product or service, distribution process is very important because that ensures the right and effective reach of the product or service to the end customer. Third thing is that how you are going to do the marketing or branding of that particular product or service which you are going to serve, because that would be the part of the chain once you start making and selling. Also, that will be part of your cost, but it may ensure that the effectivity is optimum because it is most crucial. What else? Now, fourth thing would be you must map and understand the competitive advantages, disadvantages, and scenarios of that particular category in which you are going to launch your product or service. Because if you don't know that, first of all, you may not understand what scale are you targeting for. So that helps you understand that, okay, what is going to be my market, which way I'm going to get into the market, and who are our challengers. And fifth thing would be how you understand, you design your product in terms of the USP, or at least the proposition which makes your product effective in terms of being an NPD rather than becoming a Me Too product in the market and getting absorbed somewhere in the average law of averages. Last thing would be a regular review and mapping of the KPIs, the key performance indicators of the product, service, and process you have got into. While once you do all these things, you can make a GTM strategy for any of the product you are going to launch and keep on evolving the business. The second thing, what are the benefits of this? It is very easy for us to start manufacturing or providing a service by having resources, capital, and infrastructure. But does that only ensure that you will get a due success? No. So why GTM is important? That gives you a framework in which you are going to identify, first of all, what is your ultimate goal, before getting into a business, in specifically once you are an entrepreneur, you are a startup, you are trying to expand your small size business, because without having a goal in your mind, you cannot take everything or anything in your hand to start. So if there is a goal that you want to get this much of revenue, or this much of coverage in terms of geography, or this much of profit in terms of this in this timeline, so you have to decide first before going to GTM or any new thing launching. Once you have decided this, then you start calculating the target market. For example, if you take an example that you are going to launch your product or service in India, then you must definitely go for demography and geography, because you will have a clear understanding how it matches up to your ultimate goal of having a top line or bottom line or expansion, whatever is your overall agenda. Doing this, it will help you to make sure that you don't go haywire, you don't waste your time where the things may incur more cost and timeline, but the results are not on the right side. Deciding GTM also helps you that you clearly know before launching that what is the competitive advantage, disadvantages, so that you can accordingly make your timelines, make your plans, tools, and whatever setup you require. Also accordingly, you can get your marketing, promotion, BTL, ATL activities which help you promote your product in the right way. Identifying distribution, which is also part of GTM, also makes you understand what is the ground reality. Because possibly you may have a wonderful product, but if you don't know how to travel it from your warehouse or from your office to consumer's office or consumer's shop or consuming point, it will not help. You will keep the inventory ready, but you will not be able to sell. Why it is important to do these activities? Because awareness will always be required. If there is no buzz for a product, whatever comes may, being a very good product, it will take a hell lot of time to become a successful product, and possibly by that time you always lose the track, or some competition getting involved, or something else can happen. So you need a quick reach. That's why this marketing and branding activities are required. Last but not the least, continuously reviewing that how aligned your steps or actions are getting in terms of your goals periodically, because you may have started wrong, you may have started very good, but if you're not evaluating in every set of intervals, you might lose track badly, and you will only get to know when you have lost entire business. So these are the benefits of making a GTM strategy before you get into an NPD or a new product launch or an expansion. Believe me guys, you may be surprised, but there are brands which you and I know, and they have thoroughly got into GTM before getting into their mode. I'll take some names like Uber. They started doing it city by city. They started occupying strategically which city they wanted it to start with, because they understood the demography, the requirements, the needs, the pain points of the customer, and then they expanded from tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and nowadays they are at every nook and corner, and soon they will be seen in villages as well. Amazon started with books. Why book sales? And not only Amazon, Flipkart also by selling, because these were the products people always wanted to have. At times there was no facility to understand, to evaluate, but they want the product they wanted. At times the limited resources were there which they have to search. This gave them an entire place where they can see whatever they want to do. Again, if you know, other IT people know, there is a brand called Service Neo. Then Instagram specifically understood that being it a mobile app, it will only work where proficient photographers, video content makers, influencers will work, because it's made for everyone, but they targeted them. They approached them with certain schemes and advantages, so that those people start pulling other people inside. So believe me guys, GTM is a wonderful tool, and though it is being practiced since last some time and being heard last some time, it is always a very, very useful way to make your product success, make your launch success, and get your business evolved. So if you have any questions or any queries or any points you can add to this, it will be great. I would love to see your comments. Please comment on this post, and I will come up with some another sales, marketing, or business strategy which may help into our day-to-day business and whatever we are going to do in our future. Till then, take care of yourselves. Happy Diwali in advance. See you.